Welcome back, youngins. I'm Brickroad. This is Let's Play Final Fantasy VI. And today, with any luck, we'll have a couple of nice laid-back dungeons where my eyes do not want to bleed out of my head. But first, now that we have Mog in the party, we're gonna fly on down. We're just gonna dip our toes into Kefka's tower. You know, just enough to wet our whistles, so to speak. I'm just gonna pop in just for a little bit, because Kefka's tower is a really dangerous dungeon, and we don't have the strength or the manpower to really survive in it long term, but we do have Mog and his Molulu's charm. Molulu, by the way, is one of the Moogles that helps to protect Terra in the very, very first video of this series. Presumably, Molulu is Mog's a lady fan. Actually, I don't know that Mog is a dude. In Final Fantasy 13-2 and in Final Fantasy 9, Mog is established as a lady type herself. Maybe I have it backwards. I guess nobody on the airship lifted up his back leg to check. I remember, though, fixed dice is one of the best weapons in the game. We have those now. And anybody who remembers this game coming out in North American territories as Final Fantasy III will remember that Mog featured very heavily in the game's marketing. Oh, that's all we're getting in this particular section of the dungeon. Fair enough, time to bail. For one, he was on the actual cartridge of the game, which looks like this. That's the cartridge that came out. It was like this black and purple kind of thing with Mog just chilling on the front. And even more than that, if you read like video game magazines at the time, you might remember this really like hilarious, we gotta take Celeste so we can teleport out, this really hilarious advertisement where like on one page it was Mog surrounded by monsters, and it's like, oh no, this cute little guy is gonna be whatever, and then the next page all the monsters are dead and Mog is still there, and he's like, oh yeah, he's a badass. I'm gonna find that advertisement. It looks like this. Doesn't that make you want to play the new Final Fantasy game? Anyway, Kefka's Tower has 3 different areas to it. You have to navigate 3 parties at once, and each party plays a role in opening the paths of other parties. There's my Minerva bustier that I have now that I was cheated from. Yeah, I'm gonna go with cheated out of in the previous video. But we do get another one here, and we can get more later if we want. There's a boss that Mog's not gonna fight solo. I mentioned earlier that the World of Ruin, while it's entirely non-linear, while there's not really a sense of an order you should do things in, it still does kind of have a sort of level progression. Force Shield's a great item. Better than a Force Shield, though, if we can get around this rock, is Force Armor. Beautiful. Like, some areas are just higher levels than other, and Narsh was probably another ribbon. Nice. Going back to Narsh, like, a couple of levels would have done a world of good in there. A couple hundred more hit points. But I really like to get to Narsh. There's a dragon that Mog's not going to fight solo. I like to get to Narsh as early as I can in the World of Ruin, so I can get Mog and his Molulu's charge, and I can do this run. You can get in here earlier. I guess that's the end of the line for now. You can get in here earlier, at least far enough to get the fixed dice. What you can do is, like, if you have 6 characters, you could put 4 in one party, equip them to the teeth, right? And then just put 1 person in the other 2 parties, and just do the same thing I'm doing now, but fighting monsters the whole way. And that might be an interesting way to train up your characters. But it's a tough dungeon, and there's really tough monsters, and fighting our way through each of these 3 paths just to get the equipment that we're getting now, even with a ward bangle and even with teleport spells and smoke bombs getting us out of battles, would be much more difficult than it was to just go through Narsh. The other thing I could have done differently was go into Narsh, get Mog, do this run, and then go through and get the Espers and Umaro at a later date. But we've got 2 dungeons to get through today that don't make me want to pull my eyes out and play with the like spaghetti wobbly bits that hold my eyes to the back of my skull. And I don't know, I'm kind of wanting to check out Umaro, because the first place we're going to go today, Umaro, the only way to customize him, you can't change his equipment, you can't give him an Esper, you can't raise his stats, and you can't even issue commands. He just always attacks. The only way to... Is this the room with that has like a secret tunnel in it? Yeah, it is. It's over here. There it is. Okay. We're going to just kind of feel our way around here. The only control you have over Umaro is giving him relics. He can equip most of the relics that you get over the course of the game. But he's got a couple of Umaro exclusive relics to his name. I gotta be careful I don't accidentally trigger this boss. Is it in this room here? Yeah, this room. If I go any further than that, there's a boss that we trigger. If I try going down those stairs. What's this box here? I guess it's already open. We must have got that earlier. I mean, I guess it's supposed to represent one of the boxes we got in Vector, because most of this area of the final dungeon is made out of stuff from Vector. But that behind us, we are now ready to build our next party. Oh, okay. Well, we're out of magic points for teleport, but we still have 1 teleport stone we'll use. Alright, let's put together a party real quick. I guess we'll just unequip all members. So let's take Celeste and Umaro and... weird jump cut. Sorry about that. My recording software glitched out for a second. I was afraid that I was afraid we had lost the patient, Doctor. But looks like we're still on track. So let's see. You're a 24. You can come. Looks like my next lowest are all 25s. Alright, so I will just take Setzer with us because Setzer has a new toy to play with. Alright, so Umaro, we're going to give him a gauntlet to raise his attack power. He can't use a shield. He already holds his weapon in both hands. And let's just give him a Gigas Glove for now. We'll just make him extra raunchy for the time being. Setzer, my man, have a Genji Glove, and that's all you need, because your damage output is entirely based on what you roll on these dice. So now you've got dice and fixed dice, you're good to go. Celeste, we're going to go with a Genji Glove and your growth. Actually, you know what? We're going to go with a Hero Ring. We got a couple of these now, and your growth egg. All the relics I want are always at the bottom of the lists, weirdly enough. You're probably good enough to use that now. I don't want you to have the Asia Shield and the Minerva, though. In fact, you put on Force Armor, please. Should I go with the extra speed? No, the defense loss is too much there. Okay, so then you take the Aegis Shield. I kind of don't want you to have a Man-Eater, but oh well. So you're going to have our Gale Hairpin. I remembered the name of it today. And we're also going to go with... Let's go with Hermes Sandals. That'll do you. Alright, so what shield do you want then? Oh, we have 2 Aegis Shields. We just got a second one in Kefka's Tower. What were we learning? I mean, I guess we might as well just give her... She's learning Oh, she was learning Lakshmi, that's right. So we'll do that. What is Midgar Sormer do for us? HP plus 30. We're going to give that to Setzer, because really the only stat he cares about is HP. Were you learning anything in particular? Just a lot of nothing. Just a lot of half-learned stuff. We don't need to fight any wacky bosses this time. I don't really have... You know, what's going to go with Bismarck? Well, he knows strength. What can we learn him that will be useful in the long term? I don't think he cares much about magic stat. Hastka and Sloga, maybe? He was working on Golem. We'll just keep him on good old Golem. Okay, so there's our party for the time being. Umaro only has a Bone Club and a Snow Scarf. Snow Scarf is actually like the strongest armor in the game. Like, it repels everything, it halves damage from a bunch of stuff. And now, as we pointed out earlier, there is a cave on the Veldt. And it is called the Cave on the Veldt. And we're going to drop a save and go on in. This is another cave that I'm pretty sure they want you to do kind of early in the World of Ruin. Like, they want you to go into Cyan's area first. Hey, it's Interceptor. I think we don't want to follow him, actually. I think we just want to explore the whole cave. Oh, this is just a dead end. We should have listened. And then Cyan mentions that Gao went back to the Veldt, and then you can go back to the Veldt and find this cave here. Alright, Setzer. Good rolls. Let's go. Let's go, buddy. Look at the power that 3 dice have wrought. And the Ultima weapon is starting to come into its own. At long lasts. So 3 dice means, first of all, your multiplier is always bigger, unless that 3rd dice is a 1. But second of all, it's just a greater chance to get higher numbers, basically, because you have a 3rd dice with which you have a 1 in 6 chance of landing a 6. I'm not actually sure if like all the dice are created equal. The Berserker Ring is for Umaro. That gives him a new type of attack. Oh, did I not stay at an inn or anything? I forgot to heal up. So Celeste, you know what? We'll use Edgar to heal. He's got some heal spells. Oh, these guys explain how Gao's mechanics work in case you weren't paying attention in the first world. Alright, Umaro, are you going to do your thing, buddy? Or is this thing going to die too early? Because the monsters in this dungeon are just a little bit more powerful than the ones in, say, Daryl's Tomb. If you're a jerk and you let Shadow get killed, you have to come into this cave in order to recruit Realm. Realm does not show up in Bowser's House in Jador until you come into this cave and find Realm. If you are a right-thinking individual and you rescue Shadow, this is where you can start the quest to recruit him by coming into this cave here and finding him that way. Here's like a sub-boss, the Death Warden. He's kind of silly looking, but we're going to mess him up. This is one of the few monsters that I actually wish... Ugh, that was a bad roll on 3 dice. I actually wish they had kept the original name from the Woolsey translation. There's the Berserker Ring doing its magic. This could get real dicey, actually. Okay, okay. I mean... I wasn't expecting that. I mean, I guess Umaro's got this, though. Umaro has this down pat. He's just gonna fling himself at monsters. Oh no. I guess the game calls ties in favor of itself. I guess that's what happens. That's fine. We'll keep that little bit of experience we got. We will hit Celis with a sleeping bag. crazy. We could give Umaro a reflect ring to make sure that that death doesn't stick. Or we could just be more proactive in reviving people. I thought that thing was going to run itself out of health before... Just a slight miscalculation on my part. It's not the kind of thing we should dwell over in the comments intensely. It's the kind of thing we should just kind of roll our eyes and go, oh, that goofy Brickroad, and just leave it at that. That's what we should do. Of course, if we had Sabin in the party, that wouldn't have happened, because 2 Phantom Rushes and he would probably be dead. What does the Berserker Ring do for his strength, actually? Where's the Berserker Ring? There it is. Like a, what was that, a +5 strength? That's not bad. See, this time let's actually revive people when they die. If it had been anybody but Umaro in the party, I could have pulled it back, because Umaro can't use items, can't learn spells, has no way to revive anybody. What you see is what you get, basically. But still kind of a fun character to just throw in the party. I do wish you could give him Espers, just for the stat boost, but I guess everybody would just put Bismarck on him, and nobody would ever get Bismarck ever again. Would be what happens. There, that's what I want to see, that death spell missing. There's that magic evade coming into play. Doom is fine. I don't think the battle's going to last long enough for anybody to worry about Doom. It's also the name of a 1990s era first-person shooter that was reasonably fun to play. That's the new claw for Sabin. I think that's the best claw we can get without going into the bonus dungeon of this game. So if you were to give him a Genji glove, used to be back in the day before I knew that all of Sabin's stuff was based on his magic stat, and I would never train up his magic stat. I'd never give him earrings or anything, because he's a monk. He's so clearly a physical character. It's kind of counterintuitive. You still need stop, right? Yeah, he's still working on stop. You can just have it out, buddy. My favorite slot out for him, as far as relics, were the Genji glove. Even though I always use Blitz, I would give him a Genji glove and the black belt, so he would counterattack with his 2 claws. And he's got reasonably high strength, so that's a pretty good strategy. You know, his primary attack is the Blitz, usually the Phantom Rush. But then he's got secondary attacks. Anytime a monster pokes him in the nose or something, he gets all violent on the ass. And I played Sabin like that for years. He's even like that, even in that inefficient way, he's still one of the best characters in the game. The Ishigeki is a weapon. Hey look, there's Shadow. Since we did save him on the floating continent, he's here, he's good to go. So here's the other bad thing about Umaro, is when you get into a back attack, you can't switch his row. He's just stuck in that row. I mean, when he uses his throw attack like that, he's got either his tackle or when he throws a party member. I'm pretty sure those attacks are both back row okay. There's the big number. There's the big number, Setzer. That's why we love you, buddy. And as my man gains levels, those 9,000s will appear on lower and lower rolls of the die. You don't necessarily need to get the 666 or 665 in order for Setzer to be rambunctiously powerful. Although it does help. We're going to drop a save here because I actually I didn't build this party with this boss in mind. I'm kind of hoping that just the raw damage we've got undefensible damage. Ultimate weapon, defense doesn't matter. Evasion matters, as we learned, but defense doesn't matter. Fixed dice, nothing matters. Fixed dice gets through evasion, defense, lime gelatin, whatever you got. Fixed dice does not care. The only thing fixed dice cares about is the number you roll, and that's basically it. What's next for you, my darling?
Shoutouts to Spoony Bard for sponsoring this video, and to everybody who makes my channel possible by supporting me on Patreon.